So you guys were talking about the anger of childhood things and um man, can I relate to that. Last January, I had been working with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work for about 7 or 8 years, and in 2020 I enrolled at Quantum University to become a naturopathic doctor, and he's one of my professors. So it's funny how she said, and you said how it just comes up. I did a whole lot of sacred anger work and realized I was just really angry about addiction. And what I created my life, that means I created all these people in my life with addiction. What? Well, so 7.5 months ago, I got a call no mother ever wants to receive. And my third son was in a motorcycle accident and on life support for 2.5 months. I have to tell you that the first 5 minutes of this meeting, I was on in my car because I was coming home from Dallas, which is about 2 hours from me, visiting him, and it was an amazing, wonderful day. It's been a very difficult 7.5 months, but it was an amazing, wonderful day. And there's been a lot that weren't so amazing. And there's been a whole lot that I've seen miracle after miracle with him. I mean, his spine was broke from C2 all the way down to his coccyx, and he is walking. Every bone in his body was broke except for his right arm and right leg. He had 3 strokes.
Reminds me of that guy that says, see that finger right there, right there? That doesn't hurt.
Right?
That's the part that don't hurt.
It's funny. He said that to me today. Mom, this is the only thing that doesn't hurt on me.
There it is.
But he said, I love you. Thank you for bringing me here. He has quite a stutter from the stroke and the accident and left side deficit. But again, he's walking. His eyesight is coming back in his left eye. But getting to what I was talking about, I thought I had done all this sacred anger work around the anger of addiction in my family. And I recently, after I put him in the second rehabilitation center, sat down and read the trauma report because I felt like after 7 months, I could actually take a breath and see what it said. And when I read the greater than 10 times the amount of legal alcohol in the system, I had this, it was like a burst of rage hit me. So I felt like I found myself right back there beginning to work out that anger and be able to let go and be able to love him through it and all that stuff. I mean, it didn't change the way I felt about him, but I was angry with myself, and so I had to sit and really think about that. Why it angered me and why I was angry with myself and not him or not addiction or, so yeah. I'm thinking, I just don't want to think anything of the past. I just want to wake up every morning and go to bed every night and picture what experiences I want to have without having any of the past come in.
The key to doing that statement, I'm going to oversimplify it. I know it's harder than I'm going to say. The key is first of all, daily meditation, because it takes layers upon layers, but the goal is to realize that you are an energy being. You already are. You're not achieving anything. You're not earning anything. You already are an eternal energy being expressing your life in this body, not the other way around. You weren't made a body that grew a consciousness. No, you already are and always have been an eternal energy being expressing your life in this body. When that really, really gets to you, then the things of this life lose some of its trauma.
Yeah. And so I can tell you from our last meeting to this Sunday, when I knew I was going to see him, he has a lot of anger, and he has a lot of anger towards me right now. He's like in that teenage stage of his brain injury. And as a teenager, he hated his mama, you know, and now he came from New York, where his 5-year-old son is, to Texas, because what they did is in New York in the hospital, they looked for places to place him who would accept him either in New York where his father lived or Texas where I lived. And they found a place in Texas, which
Cool.
now moved somewhere else, but which was only 10 minutes from my house. So when I went to see him today, I know that our discussions and this book and all that I've been doing has made a difference, because even though he said, as soon as I'm done, I'm going to have a drink. And even though he lit up a cigarette when he got out of the car and it kind of made me cringe, I just looked at him and said, I love you, son. And I'm so grateful to be with you.
There you go. That's the right answer.
It was so, it was a moment that just took my breath away, because I may not have been able to be there with him. And I thought, okay, I'm going to decide to think, I created this. I created to be able to be there with him today through the miracles he's experiencing, even though he's still having a rough time.
Right. As a guy who was addicted to anger, that was my addiction, anger and alcohol. Do you know, you will never hear me criticize anger. You will never hear me criticize stress. Why? Because they were given to us as survival tools. Whoever is in anger is fighting for their survival in their way. Sympathize with it. Help them learn how to survive, and that anger will fade.
Yeah.
That's the key. If anger is a survival tool, and it is, then when they solve the question of their survival, then the anger will go away. Your survival, you're an eternal being. That knowing that calms survival instinct. Knowing that makes you a more generous person. Knowing that by energy, you can draw to you out of the infinite potential. So you've got more peace. Knowing these things makes you less prone to go into survival.
Yes.
He doesn't know those things. And so I understand and have sympathy for it. Okay, let me go on, Mary. That was a great conversation. Very personal reflection on it. Yeah,